Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's live show, we're gonna have a very interesting discussion about projects and all that. So I'm hoping that audio and video is working. If that is so, please write yes AV or click the 100% logo so I can get a visual confirmation that it is working as of now. Okay. Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. Okay, as of now, I am pretty sure that things are working. So let's get started. Something is happening. Okay, so assuming all things are normal and nominal, we're gonna go ahead with basically MDG. Hi to you, and I do hope audio and video is working. Okay, so basically, since I'm getting back from my surgery, I'm starting to feel a bit more energetic, as in like I'm not constantly in like pain. So I have started to restart this project. Now, if you do not know, basically, I really want to go into electronics. Basically, I have 10,000 ideas here. It's just that I cannot bring any one of them to reality. So I really took a faith in myself. Where it's like, no, I'm gonna actually try to make electronics and let's see what happens. Started with small projects like modifying this AAA battery one to run on 18650, which simply meant mechanically drilling it, and then I slowly made LED torch again videos in this stream also. So all those things I slowly built up, and then I realized soldering is a very headache inducing, simply because while many times people will say this is the bad part, lead part, well, it's not that big of an issue. Again, it's better to not have it, but if issue wise, lead is very low on the system, simply because the flux is the most problematic aspect of it. Now again, if you want to figure out whether something is harmful or not, think of it this way, like, is it banned in China or not? So flux is such a big issue that even people in China, basically the Chinese factory, bare minimum, they still have fume extractor. And again, I used to get headaches when I used to do a lot of soldering, and again, that's not because of this, but because of the flux inside it and the flux core, so to say. So I learned it the hard way that you have to have some sort of filter, basically take the gases away from you. And so the reason why a lot of people actually buy it but don't use it, simply because it's too freaking loud. So I came up with this idea, basically gonna have two fan pushing and two fan pulling, so that way I can go through filter and activated charcoal and not have very bad of a noise. Now that was the idea, that was Mark 1. Again, I do use it, but again, it's a it's basically glued together with, well, there is no glue, that's the good part. Screws, I do use a lot of screws, zero glue. So cardboard and all that, and you can see there was gaps here. So it does work, and it has made a tangible difference. Basically, when this is running, the flux just goes into this and there is no smell. Again, that's the filter alone will deal with half of them, but after filter I have activated charcoal. So that was Mark 1. But then I was like, okay, let's build a fan controller. This is where I got kind of carried away, because you have to understand, generally if you buy very cheap or very old computer fans, they will come like this, 120 millimeter and 3-pin variant. So these pins are black negative, red positive 12 volt, and yellow tachometer. So back in these old days, you're supposed to reduce the voltage in order to control the fan. Now that's a very poor way of controlling, because again, the microcontroller here starts to freak out. It's like, what the hell, man? Again, it can handle it, again, that was the whole life, but people realized this is not a good way of controlling BLDC. So upgraded version of this was invented, which again, 99% of all of you have that upgraded one. So which is something like this, where you have 4 wire, not look on the fan, just 4 wires. So the 4 wires is same. You have ground, you have plus 12 volt, yellow tachometer, and blue PWM. So the idea is you're gonna send a signal to it rather than, hey, I'm gonna reduce your voltage. No, send a signal. That way this can consume less amps rather than running on lower voltage, which is not good for any system. Again, if the fan system is designed for 12 volt, it's optimum at 12 volt. If you're forcing it 9 volt and all, it's tolerant, but it's not light. And again, if you are coming from India, you must have known that low voltage can fry your ceiling fan. Same thing is happening in all others design. So servers first went into this, because again, this also saves you a lot of money in terms of hardware, because right now your motherboard has to have a DC to DC converter in order to step down the voltage. But with this, there is no requirement. So you just have a PWM signal, and that signal is just a duty cycle, 25 kilohertz duty cycle. So if you can generate that 25 kilohertz duty cycle, you can communicate to it, and it will only say 0% or 100%, like a 0 to 100, and it will map that throttle value to its RPM. So let's say And this was again a 4-pin PWM puppy, but again this is only I think 1500 or 1200 RPM. So 0 to 1200 would be map that. Although 0 is not allowed in most system, meaning they will still maintain some RPM. Although modern like some Noctua fans and some very flagship fans, they have 0 RPM mode, meaning you must have seen like, a graphics card in like 1960 era when they started to become efficient. They're like, well, a fan will not spin. If even the graphics card is working, if it's not working hard enough and the temperature is low enough, it will not spin. 0 RPM mode, that is possible in fans simply by reducing the PWM below 20%. And again, it's an extra add-on. So this fan does not have it, that system where you can, like, if I'm gonna reduce the basically PWM to 20% or below, it will switch off basically. So that's how the fan systems works in your computer, ATX and all that. So I wanted to do that. That was a good idea. Then I built the physical manifestation of that, like this 3D one. And you can see this is far more professional, like actually sealed everything. And even the filter part, again, the size of this is not designed by the fan because I could not find any what you call filter, HEPA filter. So I basically use the nearest air filter, that is cabin air filter. Again, not HEPA filter, but more than enough. Trust me, if you have nothing when you are soldering, this would be more than enough. So that, and to make sure that fumes are taken care of, not just like, okay, like, blown away somewhere, you have to have activated charcoal. And then thankfully, some people have figured out how to print, mesh, as you can see. So I can full charcoal here, and again, no glue, all things are screwed. And again, not even heat insert, I use nut and all that. So then you can basically have, so filter will filter out big components and all that. Gases will be taken care by this puppy and done. Air will be exhausted. So this is how originally I wanted to do that. But I realized very early on the fan, this sort of basic fan, 1500 RPM is just not good enough for fume extractor. And again, I was getting like, what if I could do this and that? So I was like, okay, what if I buy 3000 RPM? That is generally the highest you can get in a computer system where you have 120 millimeter, 3000 RPM, unless you go into server or industrial. So I was trying to get this. Unfortunately, this is where things went like overboard. I got these fans. As you can see, these are much thicker. These are 35 millimeter. These are fat puppies. These are not meant for computer. They are meant for servers and industrial racks. So these things are brutally powerful. They are 7000 RPM, meaning if they run at full load, basically most likely the adapters that I wanted to use, basically most of the time I wanted to use this sort of cheapo adapter to drive those fans. If I trigger even one of those fans with this, yeah, this puppy is going poof, poof, bye bye. So that created an issue where I could not, even though I have the thing, everything is built, I can, because of the electronics, I cannot use this. The good news, they do have PWM signal, meaning if I can give them PWM signal, I can control them. So that's where things went downhill. So I wanted to use ESP32. Now I did a lot of small scale testing and prototyping where I was like, okay, what is the bare minimum? Bare minimum is I wanted to understand, can I read the RPM and can I send the PWM? ESP32 can do that. No problem, good, awesome, GG. And because I wanted, again, even those small cheapo adapters, they are not really that good. So if you like, if you turn it on, basically you plug it and you just turn it on, it does not go all fan starting spinning. It's like, it's like literally it's like struggling to start. I did not like that. So I added MOSFETs. Now I do not know electronics or programming. So I used MOSFET, logic level MOSFETs. And the idea was that I'm gonna sequentially start them. Fan 1, start, go. Fan 2, start, go. Basically, you connect it first, 1 second later, 2 seconds later, 3 seconds later. So that way you can just space out the jerk of it and it will be far smoother experience. So far so good. Until I started to get carried away where it's like, oh, what if I had a way of controlling the fan? So I'm like, okay, what if this can create an access point? This can act as an access point, and this can even have a small web page into it itself. ESP32, yes, that's how powerful ESP32 is. And then my idea was that instead of installing app for everything, you have a goddamn app. So it's like, what if this always screams out access point, and in that access point you click it, you type in the password, and voila, you have a web page, and then you can control it. So far so good. There was this only two major issues. Major issue number one, the RPM signal, the tachometer signal, it's very hard to read. It's not a PWM. It's what you call a counter cycle. You have to supposed to count how many ups and downs it happened. Now computer, most of the sketches, quote unquote, that is available for ESP32 or Arduino, they generally utilize what we call interrupts. Now, interrupts are not, unless you have to, you're not supposed to use them. So I find it odd, and then I looked into, and again, when I was trying 4 fans, I was like, yeah, this is too many interrupts, it's gonna happen. So I was like, okay, what can we do? Thankfully, I looked into it, like how computers read the RPM. Turns out they use what we call pulse counter. They are not interrupting the main processor with like, okay, read the fan, read the fan. They have an independent hardware. That hardware, inside that hardware, they have pulse counter. That pulse counter keeps counting to maintain the basically the actual data for the RPM. Thankfully, ESP32 has that also, but I could not get it to work reliably. Okay, hi, I restarted my project. Can you share what project you are talking about? Meditation Life. Hello, hello to you. Okay. Oh, there is a power cut. That's why I'm sweating so much. I'm just waiting for. Hold on. Okay. Okay, things are good. Is anybody still there? Okay. Again, nobody's chatting. That's weird. Is my live stream still functional? It's like I'm hoping it's still functional. It looks functional. I'm hoping, guys, I'm just hoping that is functional, and none of you guys are commenting anything, so I have no idea whether the stream is active or not. Anyway, so I'm just gonna continue assuming that things are. So that RPM was the most difficult part. The PWM, that was not that difficult. Yeah, hello, yeah, okay. Ghoshi ji, yeah, okay, at least somebody is active. So RPM reading kind of threw me off the loop, and this project taught me one of the very important thing, what we call a scope creep. Scope creep literally, destroyed this whole project. And again, then life happened, and then back pain got out of hand, things got out of hand. So this project was just laying around for almost, I would say, half a year. So since I'm starting to feel okay-ish, or at least less in pain than I used to be, so I was like, okay, let's restart it. And then I made a decision, because I looked into that guy who made that laptop, LTT, they brought a kid who made a laptop. So that laptop, and he talked about the money, and he's like, $5,000. That's a lot of money. And then it kind of hit me. It's like the whole reason why this project was like getting out of hand is simply because I could not find fan like this. This sort of simple fan is like basically 120 minutes, 3000 RPM. Now, thankfully, there is a company that Deepcool, no, sorry, I have ordered them. So this time I'm letting the money go. It's like, if I need a project to kind of finish, it has to again, if I would have returned those fans, that would have been better. If I had just waited, or like accepted like 2000 RPM fan, but again, this was not the best decision I had on this project. And scope creep, I was starting to, it's like, what if I did that? Like, that's the reason why I have credit card, because this controlling was proving so challenging, especially the RPM part, is that I was like, okay, what if, when I haven't seen multi-talented person like you. There are many people who are, what do you think about the core problem in the science communication and science research? Hold on. Yeah, so basically, hold on. Yeah, Arctic released a fan, P12 Max series. So P12 is already the old one, and P12 Max, it was not available in India when I started that project. It was launched recently, so I was like, okay, 1 or 2 months they will not bring it like it, because that's a low priority product, so it will take time. It only came very recently. It's very expensive. Like, full of this is costing me 3,000 or something, because individual prices, hold on, individual price is 800. Oh, god damn it. I bought it and the price reduced. But it's not too bad. It's only went to 808 rupees. I think I bought it at 880 rupees. So I'm like, okay, who cares? So that 4 fans. And again, when this runs at 3000 RPM, it's unbearably loud. And again, what would be the point of push-pull configuration if I go back to the same point when fan is too loud and I cannot do it? And the reason why I was so hell-bent on 3000 RPM is simply because I can slow them down, but I cannot boost them up. So I was like, okay, let's do that. and these fans are like, so I restarted it to 1.5 weeks ago, and slowly I'm starting to get this. Thankfully, ChatGPT has made some progress. I can easily feel it. Like last time when I was asking ChatGPT to do a code, it was keep getting tripped on one thing. I updated it, still kept tripping, but after a few times it fixed itself. Now it's like boom, I got it. Like for example, PWM Signal uses a library of ESP32 going through Arduino IED. That library has been updated, so a lot of old sketches are bricked right now. If you use those sketches, it will not work because again the library protocol has been changed. It will fail to compile. So I had to update ESP32. So it not ESP32 as in like ChatGPT. It's like, bro, they have changed it. Please read this website. Documentation has been changed. 1 or 2 tries, they got it. Boom, done. After that, it's like okay, got it. So now almost every sketch that ChatGPT is making at least is getting compiled and is being run on this. It does run. So when I'm running this, I even got that, but again, these are old fans. They have 3 pins, not 4 pin. So I cannot control them because again, for controlling them, you have to control voltage, not a good idea. So, but again, I got that sequential boot up. I was so happy. I was like, okay, I'll just set the PWM to 20% and I'll start running these things and done. At least it will be running, actual running. Yeah, no, these fans are so brutal. The MOSFET fails to trigger. So I have to learn about MOSFETs. Again, I did knew that I'm using MOSFET that is, hold on, IRLZ44N. Now good MOSFETs, but because ESP32 is 3 volts rather than 5 volt, they do not have enough oomph to basically switch it reliably at high inrush current scenario. It's like basically it's not going into saturation region, just not starting. It's starting all the small fans. Big ones, it's like nope. Like I had to try multiple code variants, and then it's one code variant where it just does that only thing, turn on everything and it just boots. Other than that, any PWM signal, I think it does not have the internal, because again, a MOSFET gates are like a big capacitor. You have to dump enough oomph into it, otherwise you will not be able to start it. So yeah, this failed. And I used to watch an old tutorial and he said specifically, do not use logic gate, basically logic level MOSFETs. They are almost black magic, where it's like they had to do so much engineering so it can work reliably, but it's like, yeah, it does not, no, not worth it. But then why didn't I just use normal MOSFET? You need driver and that's expensive. Like MOSFET drivers has to be there. Man, I've seen them. Okay, what do you think are the core problems in science communication and science research? Well, see, research is a different thing. Communication is a different thing. Communication is there for making sure that common public, as in like civilian population, does not become dumb. Like for example, civilian population should understand that if you keep building dams, you will not have a river. And again, it's a very short, what you call a bitch slap period. Basically, you build it, 30 years later, boom, you're starving to death. Why? Because the river is no longer there. So science communicators' job would be to make sure that civilian population can understand. So if a politician comes, I'm going to build the dam, it's going to save you from flood and it's going to give you electricity. And people should be like, bitch, please, we are in a hot climate. We cannot have that. We're gonna die if you do this. So, and again, I only have seen where people can push through, where I can push through people's dumb stupidity is like when I say China is building a dam on our river. Then it's like, no, this will destroy. It's like, then why you are building dams in your own country? And it's like flood control. There are 10,000 ways of flood control. Half of them do not require dams. It's like, and again, this is the true tragedy of failure of scientific communication. India had a good partnership after its independence with USSR. USSR was stupid. So they took rivers and they diverted the rivers into cotton fields in order to like, that was their cash crop. So they built a lot of them. That's how much they built. They drained a sea. That's how much river they diverted. And here's the funny part. Nobody got the water. Water was disappeared. And here's the deal. USSR is here from equator. We are here from equator. And somehow Indians, even though we had good partnership with USSR, we never traveled there, we never studied them, and we're like, okay, India is a much hotter country. Thou shall not have freaking open, canal system. You must use pipes, even though pipes are expensive, but at least water will go from A to B. Right now, because of all open canal system, we do not have water. It's like, water, nope. On paper, we should have it, but like water goes like, we launched, let's say, how do we measure it? Let's say 10,000 kiloliter per hour from here, okay. And by the time it reaches at the end part is 3,000 kiloliter. What happened to it? Like other drained? No, evaporated. So, and again, we should have known this because Soviet Union was our friend. We should have learned from their mistakes, but we are like, but what if we are stupid? And people starved to death in India. That's the failure of science communication. And do you feel disconnect between research and scientists and common public? How can we reduce it? Yeah, that's absolutely true. Again, if you have watched my Ahir Rawat's channels, basically where I was talking, interviewed Rajendra Sharma. Basically, he's classified as father of supercapacitor for India. Like how Yuri Gagarin is the first cosmonaut for Russia, and what is other American one's name? I keep forgetting. New Glenn, Alan Shepard, I think. Yeah, I think most likely. Alan Shepard is for American. Same way, Rajendra Sharma is the basically person who brought that sort of technology in India. So that's why he's classified as that. And it was a very amazing interview. Now, this is, I met him in Delhi Expo when I was there to showcase the engine. Now, he was talking about something very interesting. He said, like, I tried to telling railway, like, use my capacitors, like, I'm selling you, I'm like giving you this technology, and this will safeguard your signals. Now, India has what we call a block level signal, what we call interlocking signals. Now, they fail a lot. Like a lot. Like this interlocking signal supposed to remove the probability of any train accidents because of signaling. That's the whole point of them. It's like you can only have accidents if basically loco pilot made a mistake. It cannot happen because signal was wrong. Turns out it's not working that good because again it trusts on electricity. Electricity is coming from batteries and converters. They are not very stable, and it's like nope. Like half of the time, like I was shocked, like how many times the interlocking signals are going down. Like people are literally writing it on paper and giving it to loco pilots, and that's why half of the accidents in India happens on railway. And he was so mad about it. It's like, dude, just put a super capacitor, like, which again, it's not like you have to buy from there, in freaking house. And it's not like, oh, it's untested. Freaking Indian armed forces uses it. Like there is no, oh, if it's untested, it's like it's tested by Indian armed forces. You do not have highest requirement than that. Okay, done, shut up, take this. And they said, like, I tried to talk them, but they never understood. And he said a line, it's like, life is cheap in India. I was like, nah. Like, I literally tell them, it's like, sir, you are on such a high level where you can genuinely understand what is the penalty of not having a giant reservoir known as capacitors in the system. And if the capacitor is the primary system, what would be the benefit of it? Because there is no switching time. The charge in and charge out, there is no C rating or D rating. It's so fast. So there are a lot of benefits. And that's why the half of the problem, power related problems on the signal leasing system would be solved. But he's a researcher. Like he literally has a tiny probability of actually winning Nobel Prize. Not even joking. Like if his quantum capacitor works, he will get that. So he's on that level. But again, railway employee is not on that level. So when they are communicating, they're not communicating. I told him also, like, you have to understand, he is a railway employee. He's not a researcher. If he were really that good with electronics, he would be working in Taiwan, like, making semiconductor. Like, think about it. Like, you have to understand that. So, like, yeah, it's again, there is a very giant gap between just people who are using the technology versus people who are making the technology. And I think I'm genuinely scared that nowadays that gap is growing exponentially further. Society punishes independence, thinker, families, suppresses individual, and government ignores citizen needs, promises, reject marriage and traditional family roles, calling them outdated. See, society does not punish independence thinker. It's like either you have the guts or not. Like at the end of the day, either you have the guts or not. Because for example, I keep saying this, whenever I studied like American culture and all that, they keep saying like, education is so bad, this is so bad, this is so garbage. And it's like, why the heck everything is there? It's like Europe has like what, how many countries? I think EU has like what, 25 countries? Like some large number of countries, 5-6 large ones. So it's like, why the heck everything is there? And then it hit me. They like all the documentaries I watched, like all of them had one point similar. It's like American children rank world's first in one thing, overconfidence. And I was like, huh. And then it hit me again with my life's bitch slapping and all that. I kind of realized there is no such thing as overconfidence. Either you succeed or you fail. If you are saying, I'm going to do this, and you succeed, then people will say, that guy was so confident. If you are the same person, you fail, they're like, he was so overconfident. Then it hit me. That's why Americans are so, like, good at these sort of things, where it's like, I want to do it, the end. The end. I'm gonna do it, the end. Whether it works or does not work does not matter. And same goes with Indian society also. For example, yes, a lot of people supported what we call Mahatma Gandhi's and his non-violence approach, but there were more than enough Indians who were Swatantra Senani, and basically they were the freedom fighters, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna poof Britishers. And again, they were there. But again, society did not support it. Families were hell-bent against it. But again, There were more than enough. So it's not like encourage and discourage. It's like whether you have the khujli, basically you have the itch, whether you have to do it or not. And again, if collectively people will try to suppress it, because here's the worst thing for a society is a person who come from the poor places and became rich in one generation, like while he's alive. For example, that's why people hate Bill Gates and Steve Jobs specific. Sorry, this guy. What was his name? Jeff Bezos. Sorry, yeah, Jeff Bezos. So Jeff Bezos was this one thing. Jeff Bezos, basically he did not came with like, I have so much money and all that. And here's the deal, there's old interviews of this, like early what you call 2005 or something, like very early on, and his interview, and he was flat out telling us like, I would like Amazon to be big enough where I can afford a forklift, because again this time Amazon was just book only, so he was literally unloading the trucks, and it was very difficult, not trucks, one truck, like that's why he was doing it manually, and that was his dream. But again, he kept working, it kept chipping away at it, and voila, tada! He's like, he became society. And again, he's the biggest bitch slap you can give to society. It's like, look at him. Like, look what he had and look where he went. So people hate that. And again, that's why everybody will try to stop you. When you actually start, no, don't risk it, man. It's so risky and all that. No. It's like, it's up you. Like the biggest risk in life you can take is not taking any risk. Because again, fun fact, you're going to die at the other end. So it's one of those things. Life is not cheap in India, it's very expensive nowadays. I see what you did there. Marriage can define in one way, man will ruin his life or showing stopping career opportunities, windows will destroy your peace of mind. Yeah, that's why you let women go. You just like, you let it go. No fighting, no marches or anything, just letting it go. Well, I'm working on an idea to connect researchers to common public. See, idea is not the hard part. The hard part is how the heck you're gonna pay them. That's the hard part. Idea is easy. Take it and go, man. That's how easy it is. It's just that how will you have the money part of it? And again, please don't ask me. Money is the one thing that I do not understand. So here's why here are 13 constant viewer. No, it does fluctuate up and down. We are always in survival mode in Indian society. No, see, again, here also, I have kept saying time and time again, while we may not have pioneers or entrepreneurs, we do have more than enough rich people. And more of them, a lot of them came from nothing. Like a lot of them came from nothing. So it's not that. Let AI come. Do I have pursued my MSc after graduation? I have started a startup in research sector. You can't start a startup on a research sector. Like you have, like startup, people will give you money and you have to return that money. How will you return that money? That's my main question. Like again, if government gives you grants or something like that during something, or you may have a good enough structures where a lot of people are pouring money into it, I can see that. But again, other than that, it's like, that's the point. India should have right to bear fire. Yeah, I understand that. I fundamentally agree with that. And again, this is how I know that Indians are not really that smart. It's like, if I ask any Indian on the street, it's like, do you think Indian government is corrupt? They're like, yeah, man, there's so much corruption and all that. So why do you want only those people who you yourself call corrupt the ability to poof you, and you cannot poof them? It's like flat out, we are not that smart, we are not that bright, like that we are not that bright. Like unfortunately, the harsh reality is we are not that bright. And I think it's getting worse simply because all the bright ones are leaving. So because again, Prader distribution is the distribution on this sort of phenomenons, and you can calculate that. It's a very tiny portion of percentage of people who are that level of good, and if they keep leaving it, even though on paper the number would be how APJ Abdul Kalam used to say, oh, we have so much brain that it's not an issue, 10,000 people leave, we have such a large power. Yeah, but if 10,000 are the cream of the cream, yeah, you did. You did, brah. You did. So it's one of those things where it's like, we're not that smart. So it's as I'm getting older, I'm kind of realizing that. And again, given the fact that I have friends in more places, like one in Canada, one in UK, one in Australia and all that. So it's one of those things. Currently, as trying to generate cheap labor for companies, do you think still work even after AI? No. Locals goons have guns anyway. Yeah, that's also another point. It's like this again. A lot of Americans have become dumb enough where they are like actually believe it's like, yo, you make it illegal, and it's like I'm like, criminals are already illegal. They do not care. It's like all you will do is make it illegal to defend yourself. But again, that's what happens when you have brain damage and it becomes too. One of Brian, again, his interview will also come up someday in the future, where it's like he said something very interesting. It's like when you are young, you are liberal. When you become old enough, you become conservative. And did not used to understand it. The reason why is you have something to protect. Like when you are older, you generally, likely, you would have a family, you would have children, so you have something to protect. That's why your values change to conservative, because again, you have something to conserve. And I was like, damn, that was some deep stuff there. So, but again, this sort of things have been like, in India, compromise with topper in constant. I do not get it. India, compassion with the topper is constant. Comparison with topper. Again, it's, see, every society, every culture has this sort of BS, and it's up to you to push through it. There is nothing other than that. There is nothing other than that. It's like, do you think if in Japan you would be better off? No, it would be hell. The only place where I can guarantee say that you will be better off, but again, you will have different kind of problem, would be in USA. You will have different kind of problems. But again, problems will always be there. Like in Hindi, I keep saying like, band sabki basti hai, bas gana laga. Like all of our like getting run through, so to say. It's just the runner is different. So fundamentally, do not ever think like, oh, in India has this. Again, every country has that problem. Like Japan is suicidal, like for lack of a better term. The whole country is. And again, they are dying because of it. Again, go into South Korea, same story. Go into Vietnam, different story, similar outcome. Go into Nepal, similar thing. So fundamentally, it's like everybody, every place has a what you call issues. It's just that they are different from yours. Let her go, let her movie in. I get it. I got it, man. I got it. Don't you think guns registration for civilian use more gun firing in school in India? No, that will not. Again, see, if you have a family unit breakdown, which again, you will have much bigger problem. And again, you do know, like there are a lot of countries, not just one, lot of countries that have firearms. USA literally rotted their family core to so like, and again, they are always firing on the people who like, legal. It's like, this illegal person did something. It's like, let's ban guns. It's like, here's the deal. Again, more than enough people have told, trying to get legislation is just make sure the teachers can carry. Conceal carry, as they call it, meaning they do not have to show, they just have it. And again, give them training, give them all that. 5 minutes later, there won't be any story. But again, it's like, we have to, it's like brain damage. It's a basically self-fulfilling feedback loop. It should not be this bad, but again, it's a self-fulfilling stupidity where it's like, no, we have to take away guns. It's like you are only taking away from legal people, from civilian, and criminals do not care. A deranged person do not care. They are like, okay, what if there is no guns? It's like, that's not how life works. So, yeah. Do you think okay? Constantly, I've had a Ja 2 movie from China across 2 billion. Why Indian movie not making that kind of animation? Ninja. See, Indian movies are basically again, American problem. I specified the school poofing. That is the first problem. Second is like their family unit is so lost. Like there were certain things that the people who, again, from America, again, not Indian who went to America, I'm talking raw American, like they were born there, raised there, all of that. And they say things about family unit, and I'm like, what the heck? They're like, I'm not even joking, they're like, yeah, we want to have kids. And the moment 18 year happens, it's like, yeet, yeet. It's like, what the hell? And again, the same returns is like, the moment they are old, yeet. Like, what the hell? What is this family? It's not a family. So there are issues, man. Every culture has some issues. Oh, there is this term, baby daddy. I'm not even joking. There is a different boyfriend and baby daddy. It's like their family unit is beyond rotten. Like it's not even like, bad or something. Like it's beyond rotten. And again, I keep saying that, why India does not, it's like whenever you have this question, why India, outcome is always the same, no balls. It's always no balls. Again, flat out, I have said, I've worked in 3D game studios in India, and we were making flagship games. Like flat out, there is no, oh, like we were not working. No, no, no. We were, any flagship games you were saying in, I can guarantee you half of its assets came from here. Unless it's like a Chinese game who's solely made in China, but most of the AAA titles come through India. So it's not that, it's just that does somebody have the balls to risk it and like balls to actually try multiple times, not just one, I'm out, I'm done. No, multiple times. And I keep saying that with fifth, justice exists only for the weak, never for the strong. I think you inverted it. I think you inverted it. I get the essence, but I think you inverted it. So that's the whole point. Whenever you're talking about a nation having this or that, trust me, as you get older, you will realize almost all country have their issues. It's just different than yours. Other than that, nothing else is different. Like nothing else is different. Like think about it, like how cowardly Japan is. Like we say, oh, Japan is so honor and blah blah blah. No, they're cowardly. How do I know? Let's deal. Go into Germany, which again I do have colleagues there and a family member there. They do teach like to children what happened in World War I, World War II, both. And Japan, nothing. It's in their school book. Nothing happened. We were just chilling in the sunlight. We were doing picnics, and America came and boomed it. It's like, what did you do in Pearl Harbor? And the expansion of the empire. Trust me when I say this. This is another reason why I'm not so lovey-dovey with Japan, because I know what was their plan for India. Yeah. So when this Axis happened, the idea was like, the Hai will take care of the West, and the East will be taken care of by Japanese people. And they are so up on their own ass. They actually believed everybody else's culture to be pathetic. They had to be deleted. And the things they did made Hai look like a, angsty teenager. That's how bad things they did. So, and again, the whole idea was like, we're going to take care of Indian and all that. I'm like, what the hell? And again, trust me, if you want to see what they, and again, the Somalia, that guy who was a nuisance streamer who was got caught in South Korea, why that little girl statue is there, look into that history. You will understand that. It's like, and Japan never teaches that. It's like, no, 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 no. You were just doing, picnic and then just boom. It's like, have some balls, have some balls. And again, I get it why they are dying. It's like, did you work for Far Cry? No, not me. I only worked for 5 games. And again, 3 of them are the big ones and 2 of them small ones. So by that logic, Americans also have covered, don't teach in depth brutal history of blacks. They do. Why do you think they have this person of color history month? The whole month, like that, they never shut up about that. They keep on doing this. They never shut up about that. If my motto is now just earn for yourself and don't let anyone else come into your life. It's expensive and dire to bring someone and pain both will suffer. I'm just out of this marriage scam. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. But again, don't keep, fundamentally speaking, you don't announce it. Just like, because whenever you announce it, you kind of tempting fate. And as I'm getting older, I'm like, yeah, thou shall not tempt fate. Trust me, it's one of those things. Thou shall not tempt fate. It's just like that's why it's another aspect that you have to understand. You cannot be like, I am this. It's just like, people should ask. You should never like open your start mirror. Again, in my case, again, because I'm talking in camera, that's this. But when I'm like, nah. Like, you have to reach a point where it's like you are at equilibrium with yourself and you are doing something that gives you value. Not money, value. Because without value, you will collapse. And that's the part that you have to understand. You have to have something that gives you value. I do enjoy this work, that YouTube work that I do. Like, I genuinely enjoy it. Financially, it's not that great, but I enjoy it because A, I get to learn a lot. B, whenever, like, it's rare, but whenever that happens, when somebody comments like, okay, this helped me, understand this concept, this helped me to expand my horizon, this helped me get a job. Yeah, that has also happened. Heck, that few people have said it. 1 people have actually donated because, hey, I got my first job because of you. Thank you. And as a donation, I was like, damn. So whenever that happens, like, it gives me value. It's not just that I'm like, nuisance streaming or like just trolling. So I'm very happy with that. I'm privileged. Flat out, this is a privilege that I have. Remove the financial part, but realistically, I'm very privileged that I'm getting to enjoy this. That's why for me, it's actually doable where I won't suffer those. Are you sure they properly teach the kids the history of why so many white people still believe white supremacy? I want to kick out. Of course they will do. See, whenever you create this sort of system where you actually teach all of that, half of the people will always agree with the oppressor. That will happen. Same happens in Germany. Trust me, there are a lot of people in Germany who is like, no, he was right. Trust me. So it's not like, oh, then why? It's like you are looking from the outside. Again, that's why I said I do have certain luxuries. Actually talking to back like people and again, Thomas Scholt, I think that his name is. I could be wrong, but I think he brings it again black American, and he actually has full data points where it's like, okay, what's happening? So fundamentally, again, whenever you teach history, half of people will be with the oppressor side. Half, always. Will tempting fate cause the other to happen? Should tempt fair, but fate will let me pass. Only life were so easy, my man. Mary Patterson. Only if life was so easy, you know. only if life were so easy. See, the only thing where I can say life guarantees you something, not what I do not know, but something is that if you try, something will happen. I do not know one, and worst case scenario, bad things could also happen, but it will happen. That's the only thing I can get. Trial guarantees. Basically, Pitbull has this line that was like, again, I do not know which interview, but it was a snippet that I got in a short where it was like, a lot of his family members are, like Spanish language, where it's like, this like, you are so lucky and all that. Is, the funny thing is, the harder I work, the luckier I get. I'm like, damn. We born too early to explore the universe. No, see, it will always be like that. It will always be like that. It's like grass is always greener. So whenever somebody is talking like that, it's what we call grass is always greener. Okay, yeah. So now going back to this project, basically I'm genuinely thinking that after this one is done, and again this time I have a clear set point. First, get the fans. Second, install the fans and make sure all I need is sequential startup, and if it's loud enough, PWM. Again, RPM, it would be secondary, and because I have one more of this, I can use that one to test the software part. The idea is that I do want to develop this basically app free remote control system, basically where you no longer need to, oh, I have to install another app. No, you just need to have this web system. So I do want to, because again, it's one thing to say, another to develop it, and it's like, yeah, this is how it should be done. So I do want to develop that part. And again, I would really be helped a lot if any of you who are experienced with coding with this puppy, specifically the pulse counter, how the heck the pulse counter works, or how can I make the signal clean enough and all that. So all those things are undesirable. What's on your views on high work week? I'm not sure. Context. I'm missing some context. What do you mean by high? Do you mean 5 work days, 6 work days, 7 work days? I'm not sure. Or more hours. You have to provide some context. So. And yeah, another design mistake I did is like I was so happy. I was like, yo, I'm making this. This is awesome. And I'm like, yeah, you have no idea how the heck I'm going to connect the power rail in this. That was so dumb mistake. And this is supposed to be not 3 volts. It's supposed to be 5 volts. So I can get the LED to work. It cannot work right now because this is set to 3.3. I cannot change it because the resistors will pull the tachometer signal up to 5 volt, and that will fry this. So this is like, again, I have to be far more ready and willing to just accept sloppy designs and just move through it. What's the most probably human civilization we're gonna be? Which is most probably end of human civilization, or are we gonna see? Andy, you are talking about meaningless things. It's like, see, here we are. This is what we got. Let's make it better. There is nothing more than that. Now it's like, what if in the future? Again, if you are a story writer or a philosopher, go YOLO on that. But for most people, these are not things that you can it's not worth spending your neural power on that. Again, I am struggling a lot, but again, I do make videos. I do, whenever I have this sort of idea, put it in a video, I make some money out of it. I have 5 cents or something, but at least something. So you have to understand, like, questions, like, focus on now. Like, past has gone away. His future is not happened yet. So the only known component is right now. How you can improve that right now. Other things like, yeah, it's what if this, what if that. Yeah, it's a good thought experiment, but at some point it just becomes meh. Man, I really don't understand. They are super. So 80% slaves more Olympians spent if they are intelligence agent outshine. No, they don't. They don't. And again, see, you can't say you are intelligent and then be the ruler of, be oppressed. We cannot say that we are intelligent, like again, as a like a subsect of system and be intelligent. Nah, we were not. Intelligence only gives you one thing, the ability to survive. And if that is compromised, yeah, no. And again, the more people say they're oppressed, the more superior they feel. Because again, how much powerful, and again, that's why I keep saying, even in that live stream I talked about women and all that, is like when the only creature we can only say from flat out without even drinking or anything is like, we are so smarter than men, we are oppressed by men. It's like, yeah, that cannot happen. Only one can be true. So same goes in that ideologies part of things. And yeah, physical part, they actually flat out admit it. That's true, flat out. There is no discussion about that. But intelligence wise, like, because again, intelligence is on a two level, individual intelligence and second collective. Can you collectively work, or can you, what you call, devolve into infightings? So, yeah. Is this for 3D printer you were designing? No. That 3D printer was like, that's long ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, man. I do have a Ender 3 working. Actually, I just joined Row right now. Yeah. Oh, that 3D printer, no. That project never got, again, that time I did not had enough money, and another problem was parts were not available back then when I was looking into it. And the idea that I had, like, having extruder that has the gear down and dual intershaving mesh and directly extruder itself, all of those are now done. So I can just buy it if I have the money. I can just buy it right now. So it's no longer that issue. Just go. So, and again, this is a 3D printed one. And again, I do not use glues, nor I use heat inserts. I use nuts. I'm all about nuts, M3 nuts and all that. So, I do wish this to work. Another aspect is, like, again, I have to figure out how to basically A, start a project, B, maintain the project, C, finish it up rather than just leaving it dangling. And again, any maker can say that. That's like, it's a very mature thing to have, where it's like, I start a project, I work on the project, I finish the project, I let it go. It's like, that's a miracle thing to happen, where it's like, no, I thought of this, I started this, I worked on this, I finished this, then I'm going home. It's like, damn. I have only few things where I can actually run that. So actually, what is the project you, I think you joined just right now. This, basically fume extractor I'm building, so I can do more electrical project without drowning. And again, this can also act for my 3D printers fume if I want to. So the idea was that all the fume extractor in the market that are very cheap are useless. The very expensive one I can't afford, and even those ludicrously expensive ones, they are so noisy that people don't use it. So I wanted that push-pull configuration. Basically, air is pushed and then pulled, so you can achieve much higher efficiency with lower noise. And again, the fan is the easy part, the model and all that is done. And this is the working model, the proof of concept, and yes, it does work. Whenever I'm soldering with this on, I no longer feel the lightheadedness and smell and all that. So it does work. The filter works, the activated charcoal works, all of those things work. Fan, 4-fan works, everything works, except, like, this is just a, like, glued together with hopes and dreams kind of thing. So I wanted to go into that, the 3D printed one, but again, got accidentally wrong fans. I have no idea how I got like 4 industrial fans. Those are 7,000 RPM fans. They will chop your finger off. I'm not even joking. They will actually chop your fingers off. That's how powerful they are. So, and again, that's why I have metal grills on that. It's like, yeah, if I could have figured it out, I would have been like, you damn sure that you cannot stick your finger in. It will be like, bye-bye. So, that's there. Sheplexuglu. I do not know what. So, okay. Do you know any AI and software that can generate a 3D asset for us? Some are there, but again, I'm not that familiar with it. Asian, Amiga, mean Chinese, Korean, Japanese, not Indian, Pakistani. We also Asian. Anyways, comparing Karim layer is just crap. Again, history. I'm not comparing with like this or that. I'm comparing history. If you say you are oppressed, you lose that like I'm intelligent part. Why China is more successful than India? Again, balls. 7,000 is actually crazy powerful. Yeah, these are not meant for computers. I don't even think they're meant for server. I think they're meant for IT racks that are in the outdoor mobile tower racks. So I think those are made for that. It's brutal, man. It's so loud, it's so brutal. Like again in India, like I have brought Aman Gandhi. He's also developing his own company, and he has new technologies that he's bringing into EV market. And David Johnson, yeah, it's a very smart thing that you said. Like I like that. I like that. That is a smart thing. Yeah. Basically, prototyping is just not there. Like no product. And again, I talked about that Pran company that made filterless air purifier for India, and Indian guy makes a filterless air purifier that literally is needed in India, and then people are like, you know what? Can you make a software out of this? Can we? It's like Indian investor did not invest into it. Like flat out, he said that's something that I keep saying, that if in India you want to come to market and it's like I want to do this better and this thing exists, right? This thing exists. Shut up, take money. Well, you come into market, this does not exist. People are like, nope, not risking it. And that's what the Naman Gandhi is working on batteries. Yeah, batteries, basically the whole package. Battery itself is not that useful unless you have the whole package, and packaging as in like the battery box. The box has to have good enough efficiency and thermal longevity to last all of that. So that's it. If you're working on the same AI project, I would love to join. If you start working on some AI project, I would love to join you. My man, I do not know programming nor I know electronics, so I'm just running on ChatGPT. So I'm very low level, where it's like I'm not reaching that level, not yet. So yeah. But again, thank you so much. Again, I'm really looking for some people who can like literally create a web page on this. I got ChatGPT was surprisingly good. Indian don't want to take the risk. Yeah, that's the whole point. If you don't take risk, you die at the other end. Fun fact, you take risk, you don't take risk, you die at the other end. So might as well take risk. That's the one thing that USA has right. Like everything else is messed up. That's the one thing. Every businessman will tell you that risk capital in USA is like take it and go. Take it and go. They do not even have discussion. It's like take it, go. It's like, why the heck so many companies? You try to get venture capital in European companies, European countries, good luck. Like, it's a normal thing and all that. Yeah, good. Money? No. Good. But good idea, man. You go to America, money. Go. Heck, so much scams happen, but they still have that. Like, that's the balls part. And again, that's why I keep saying the only difference between overconfidence and confidence is whether you succeed or fail. If you fail, you had overconfidence. If you succeed, you are confident. No matter, even if you are screaming on top of your lung, acting like ass, and you're like you succeeded, it's like no, he was so confident. Every interview they will do after you have succeeded, they're like, yeah, we have seen some spark in him. He always was like so passionate about it. It's like things change, man. And again, that's the hardest thing that we must accept. Like it is what it is. You have to make do with what it is. Also working on some new kind of battery. Is he also working? Yes. Although the first product will not have the new battery, tungsten battery. It's basically lithium chemistry, but had tungsten in it. So tungsten does give certain benefits. Again, that's his department, what he's working on. So there's that. Very few startup accelerators in India. It's not accelerators, man. It's never about that. It's about risk-taking behavior as a collective. Because again, you can have a genius idea. Again, Bosch was an Indian man who literally created such an amazing algorithm for noise cancellation, but he did not do it in India. So, I have built a WhatsApp community based on topics of giving a family, marriage, and family. Just yourself leave the simple woman and wait for her. Funny part is many women joined it. How do you know they are women? Because many men like act as a woman. Like half of the women in like this what you call VTubers, that are virtual tubers, half of them they are actually dudes who are just voice acting as a girl. And again, there was this another one where there's like two girls, like this is a meme, you must have seen it, where it's like the top and bottom is like both are like nice looking girls, and they instantly recognize both are dudes. It's like, what's up? It's like, yeah. So how do you know they are women? Sorry, going off topic. I think our education system is not updating because we're still setting exam scores rather than actual skill. That's absolutely true. That's fundamentally true. You are literally hitting the head on the hammer. People are saying the old EV battery can be used in home storage. Is that worth it? Absolutely. Because you have to understand, whenever you're talking about vehicle battery, you're talking about a lot of power, like a lot of power density was like where you can like really give that torque. And again, it cannot degrade. Because again, if you are expecting your accelerator to, I press accelerator, my speed goes like this, it has to do the same thing after 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, it has to do the same thing. Batteries, when they degrade, they have more than enough power, more than enough capacity. They just do not have the oomph they used to have. So this can easily act as a good second life candidate, like more than good enough. I was like, bro, we good. And again, I keep saying, look into any cell chemistry, lithium ion, lithium phosphate, whatever have you, lithium iron phosphate, lithium titanate oxide. If you see the charge capacity, basically how much watt hour is there, it goes down with you increase C. Basically 1C is the rating that you get. Basically, if I have this, I think this is the LG one. Maybe this may be LG or Samsung one. Oh yeah, I think A30 LG one. So this is very high capacity, like 3000 milliamp hour. But here's it, does it have 3000 milliamp hour if I drain it at 1C? Yes, that's by law requirement that at 1C the rating has to be there. Cool, awesome, GG. But here's the deal, if you put it in a vehicle, you can easily have 2C, 3C, or at peak loading 5C, and again you will lose capacity if you do that. You can check that, the graph is easily available. Whenever you take a car's battery and put it in a house load, and that time the C rating becomes 0.5, it's like, bro, me good, me chill, me enjoying. So that's why that's a genuinely smart idea. The only thing is packaging is not designed to be like taken out safely and like, bolted somewhere else. But again, it's a very good logical idea, like a good logical idea. Okay, people are saying that old EV battery, okay, do you have WhatsApp channel? No. Telegram. I'm searching for old EV battery for solar, but I'm unable to find it. I don't think you can find it in India. I don't think so. We do not have enough electric vehicles. B, they are not old enough there where you can easily get it for low price. C, I don't even think that there's an ecosystem of it. It's like, yeah, we're gonna harvest these batteries and sell it in the second market. So yeah, I think you're gonna have a very hard time. Very, very, very hard time. It might be cheaper and better and more reliable just to buy the lithium ion, because again, time is also a variable. Waiting. Right now, the most important part for me. Don't you think that 100% max of India? Again, people are people. Like I am me. I'm not like this guy or that guy or that. We all are individuals. Once you become like what you call. Sufficiently experienced enough and like large enough community forms around you. Community only forms around people who are what you call something different. They cannot be the same thing. That does not work. Basically, a new actor cannot come and people will say, if a lot of people say now he's like Shah Rukh Khan, yeah, he's not gonna survive. You have to be something different. So be mindful of that whenever you're talking about someone who has become, again, they might have leanings like that, oh, he's a bit more conservative or he's a bit more liberal. That's a fair enough thing, but not as in like, he's this of that. Yeah, whenever that happens, like, yeah, no. So you have to be reasonable about that. Anywhere in the, like, oh, Jordan Peterson is this, or Joe Rogan is that. It's like, nah. Whenever people are something, they generally become something because they are themselves rather than like copy paste of someone else. Recently I got to know about Professor Thar through your channel, where he discussed about new Chinese reversal of basically end of divorce industry. You are aware of this recent? Yeah, it's too late. But again, it would be fun to see. And again, if let's just say it worked, we really will not exist anymore. Like at that point, because again, I can only bet on China not surviving the future because of their destroyed family unit. If that is restored, we good. But again, I do not know whether it's an actual law and people have accepted it, or it's just like something they want to pass, and I'm like, not sure. Again, I get the idea that a lot of people have talked about this, but I'm not sure whether it's gonna actually happen like actual law. So again, I will what you call reserve my judgment, so to say. Basically, let me see how things unfold, and then we're gonna figure out what happens. So yeah, what kind of law? Indian laws. Again, 150 countries are dying because of those laws. So I don't agree with 100%, but I'm like agree with him. He talks about not getting and anti-natalism, but I disagree with Jotum's factory of global warming on fair. Again, that's fine. I have no idea when this ideologies became so common that everybody is like, you have to agree with 100%. Hell no. Hell no. That should not have happened. I have no idea how the heck this happened. This should never be the case. Like, for example, if somebody is talking about Donald Trump and I'm like, he understands business, like, but he does not know war. I'm like, yeah, of course he does not. Like, I will not get angry about it. It's like, yeah, he knows these things. He does not know these things. It's like, these things, he's like the smart man in the, smart man in the chamber. Here it's like, yeah, no, 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 no. But again, that's okay for me. Again, Jordan Peterson also, whenever he says like, clean your room, take responsibility, all that, GG, awesome. The moment he said, get married, yeah, run the other way. He's not coming in your divorce court, so run away. So same goes with every person that I look into. Like, do I agree with Joe Rogan? It's like, yeah. Do I agree with everything? No. That's life. That's how it's supposed to. I have no idea how this happened, where it's like people are like black and white. It's like, no, we have colors, we have brain. You can agree, like 51%. That's the I do not know which YouTuber said this. This is long ago, like I was in institute. But he said this, and I like, you have to reach a point where you are okay with someone if they only agree with you 51%. Basically, like, I have this many things, I agree and disagree and all that, but like there has to be a back and forth. But you cannot, like, right now, I have no idea what happened. It's like everybody is like, black and white. It's like, no, you're supposed to have brain. We should go to SK brand are relentlessly importing vehicles in India, but SK is not importing Indian goods, thus resulting in high tariff deficit. We are not buying Indian made in India goods. Don't you think this will restore the family unit? Seems like Chinese government is strict on the matter. Again, whenever this sort of a paradigm shift happens, it never happens overnight. That's the first thing. Second, there may be too much damage. You also have to understand that, like, same as cancer. Like, if you have cancer and it gets detected and analyzed, cool, awesome, GG. Like, you detect cancer early enough, take medicine, go home, don't worry about it. If it's too late, it's like, dude, the treatment is as harmful as the cancer itself. So again, I understand where you're coming from, but again, it may be too late. So reserve judgment. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I'm gonna reserve judgment. I'm gonna like observe it. So. Even trusting global warming being fake, what do you think will lead to world denying global warming? Again, if that happens, people were liars. Like, if all, here's the, if all it would take a president to say that is fake, and all scientists are, yeah, we agree with that, or all other politicians, I'm like, then they're what we call sheeps. They were sheeps. They never had brain. Again, I will flat out, even I like Trump, I will flat out say he does not understand global warming. It's like, again, this American guy I was talking to, again, you might even see interview in that, I flat out told him, like, dude, don't think about global warming when you are thinking about making this and that. Think about, would you like to have cheaper lifestyle in the future or not? Yes, you like cheaper lifestyle? Cool, awesome. We cannot have oil. You're like, oh, why not? Oil is a fixed, finite resource. And even if, let's assume, go deeper down and you have infinite amount of oil, it will increase in price. And again, I told him, like, look into from 1875 to 1975, right? Like, that's long enough time frame. Look into it. What was the price? It was always going up. And again, look from 1975 to 2075 or projection of it. Outcome is fixed. It will always go up. So why would you want to use that? If it only goes more expensive, why not, like, just, hey, it was good, it got us this point, but how about we do that? Then he's talked about solar is too expensive. Again, I said solar is not expensive. You have bureaucracy that made it expensive. Your anger has to be pointed at the right thing. So that's a healthy conversation. Everybody agrees with that. But if you like, oh, for the environment, nobody will do. That's what we call, marketing people call it chocolate milk. Basically, you have to sell milk to the mother and chocolate to the child. So that's what you have to do, chocolate milk. So again, I will never say, do solar because it will save the environment. No. Do solar because it will make you richer. Everybody does it. As a new Chinese life, pass please. Again, right now, don't why communism succeeded in China, but communism did not succeed. They did hybridization. Basically, they are like, okay. And again, you have to understand, other countries were the stupid ones. Like I kept saying, that USA did not decline like, oh, others became better. It's like their own businessmen literally went there and it's like, one company after another, they bled that. And that, what you call, reserve cash gave them the boost, that unhealthy boost where no other country got that boost. So, and basically, it's businessmen that made China so successful. And again, their birth rate, again, they have removed one-child policy long ago, I think 2013 or something like that, they removed it. Then they made two-child policy. Now it's three-child policy and nobody's having kids. It's like, yeah, so communism did not succeed, it just delayed it. So Again, if the divorce law changes, again, no alimony. Basically, they are saying just like, yeah, you cannot, like, you are responsible for it. Which again, women do not like responsibility. It's like, yeah, if you think this person is not good for you or it might exploit you, don't get married. Simple. And if you're like, oh, I took a leap of faith and it did not work out, that's why it's called leap of faith. That's why it's called leap of faith. You cannot be like, no, I want to take a leap of faith, but I also want parachute. Then it's not leap of faith. Then it's an abomination, and you die when you do that. So that's that. In democratic countries, can you change a government, but nothing passes? In China, they can't change government, but policy gets passed. See, not all policies are good. And again, they literally destroyed their whole country based on stupid policies. So it's not black and white. And yes, you are basically seeing what you want to see. It's like you are seeing what you want to see. Go into a Chinese country. Tofu Drake project. Basically, right now, India people say, oh, like, Indian buildings are not that great and all that. Look into Tofu Drake project, and then you'll be like, India good, India GG. So there are many things, man. Like that's why I say only look into two things to understand whether the country is healthy or not. First, either passports are coming in or passports are going out. If passports are going out more than they are coming in, yeah, that's not a good place. B, are the people there having kids or not? There is nothing more than that. These two things. You can have like, oh, we have such ultra high GDP. No, you're not. You just have something on paper. You're not real. So it's one thing. And again, I do not like this GDP because again, how the heck Pakistan has GDP? It's like it's beyond me. They're going to give income, give more child, but people still not producing them. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. You cannot see government should not play the role of nanny, nor should people expect them to. I have no idea how the heck this became such a desired thing. But again, I think if you are actively willing that government should take away my control and authority and penalties so they can make a decision for you, I'm sorry, you do not have this. And you never read history. What's the better, democracy and dictatorship? I think both doesn't work because both yes, both have fertility, because once you both are doomed. No, I will not agree with that because again, dictatorships have very short lifespan, and USA have survived long, like 200 years long, like more than that long. And not to mention, they individually might be in an issue, but they do not have to worry about fertility crisis because everybody goes there. They're good. They're good. That's why I said they're good. They're sorted. They're sorted. Anyway, it's been an interesting live stream. So I will see you guys next week. Hopefully, I will have the brand new fans. They should come by Monday. And then I would have installed it. And sequential start should be done. And PWM can be done. Is the RPM part that I'm not sure whether I will be able to do it or not. So, and even if, let's just say this MOSFET, even with those fans somehow fails to start, which again, if it worked with this, I think it should work with the new fans that are coming in. If it works, I'm good, I'm sorted, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm like similar like laws, China will never pass. Similar laws like China will never pass in India, family laws. It does not matter at certain points. Anyway, I will see you guys later tomorrow. Wish me luck for my projects and bye.